to Really Old Movies. I'm your host, Harrison Scullin, and today I'll be discussing The Third Man from 1949, starring Orson Welles, Joseph Cotten, and directed by Carol Reed. Alright, some essential movie details about The Third Man. The Vienna Police Department has a real special unit that is assigned solely to patrol the city's intricate sewer system, as its network of interlocking tunnels make great hiding places for criminals on the run from the law, such as stolen property, drugs, etc. The actors playing police officers in this film were actually off-duty members of that unit. Another detail, since Orson Welles refused to film in Vienna sewers, his close-ups were shot in London film studios while a body double was used for the wide shots. The resulting footage is said to be about 85% Vienna and only 15% London. And then finally, there are many oblique angles in this film where the camera is tilted so the horizon line is not horizontal to give a feeling of awkwardness and uneasiness. In film theory, these are called Dutch angles. After he saw the movie, William Wyler, a friend of Carol Reed and also a fellow director, he sent him a spirit level with the note, "Carol, next time you make a picture, just put this on top of it, will ya?" All right, so those are some behind the scenes details about The Third Man. So now let me tell you my thoughts on the plot. So the plot, I gave it a 5 out of 5. I loved it. I thought the twists and the turns were incredible and amazing. I thought the reveal of Orson Welles' character, he's the one who said was murder, but it turned out he was actually the third man. I thought that was great. Really, really cool. And, and I love too that the film is like a detective story where the audience is figuring it out with the main character. So it's a really great mystery, great film noir, and I loved it. Great plot. All right, so now talking about the acting, I gave that a 4.5 out of 5. I thought Joseph Cotten and Orson Welles were really, really good in this movie. Thought they had great chemistry together, and they're playing friends, and you could tell that they really were friends. So I thought that was great. I thought some of the background characters, they weren't the greatest, but some of them you'll read about that English was not their first language, so they really struggled to grasp the language, and some even learned their lines phonetically. So that's kind of understandable. But they were still fun and enjoyable as well. But other than that, I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought I forgot her character's name, but the girl who plays the love interest, I thought she was great too. And I love at the end of the film that she just keeps walking out of frame, because you read that the original intention was to have them, reconcile and then walk off in the sunset together. But I actually like the choice that they made with this, where she's kind of walking in the distance and just passes him, and then he realizes, okay, it's totally done. I just need to get out of here. The Joseph Cotten character, rather. So yeah, I love that. I thought that was great. Really, really excellent acting. All right, now talking about directing, I gave that a 5 out of 5. I thought Carol Reed did a great job here. I believe this is the first film I've seen by him, and it was amazing. I loved it. And I do wonder, though, how much Orson Welles kind of had his influence in it. He claims he didn't have too much, but you could kind of see some of his touch to it, especially with the camera angles and whatnot, because he was known for his crazy cinematography. Not him personally, but like in his movies, right? But I thought it was great. I thought the staging, and there's one in particular where they're on a Ferris wheel. I thought that was really, really cool. And I love his character, Orson Welles' character, talking about how insignificant people are once you zoom out a little bit. That was really interesting. Showing a little bit of that. So I thought Carol Reed did great here and had a great cast and great assembly of people working on this film. All right, so speaking of that, cinematography and special effects, I gave that a 5 out of 5. I thought it was amazing. I think the best scenes really were in the Ferris wheel, and then also in the scene where Orson Welles is being chased down the street, first by Joseph Cotten, and then later on in the sewers. I thought they were beautifully shot and amazing. They had great Dutch angles, like I was talking about earlier. Really, really cool. I think I do think some people kind of use them a little bit too much, especially like Joel Schumacher, for example, and his Batman movies. But I think they work really well here where they're supposed to be, where it's to make you feel uneasy and feel, trapped almost. So a lot of them were in the sewer. I really, really like those. So yeah, it was great. Um, yeah, I was very, very impressed with them. Okay. In regards to the music, so this may be a controversial opinion here because when you research and study this film, you hear people praising the music from Anton Karas, that's his name. He used it's called the Zetar or Zeter. Not sure how it's pronounced. It's basically like a sitting guitar you put on a table and you strum it that way. I did not like it. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I think the music on its own is fine and it's kind of happy and jovial and whatnot, but it does not fit the tone of this movie at all. Like one of the scenes I could think of in particular where we finally see, I believe his character's name is Harry, Orson Welles' character, like the light shining on him. It's like doo 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 doo. It felt like I was watching SpongeBob. All right, I'm not gonna lie. It felt like SpongeBob. It did not feel serious. It did not feel good at all. And yeah, like I said, I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for that because I was not a fan. I really thought it did not fit the dark tone of this film. This is a film that takes place after World War II in Vienna, where it's divided up amongst the different countries, different allies. So it just it just did not fit the tone. It feels kind of dark and a little tense, right? This does not fit that at all. And I'll probably put a link to that in the description so you kind of know what I'm talking about. It does not fit the tone of the movie. So tallying that all up, that brings my Letterboxd score to 4.5 out of 5. So would I recommend this movie? Yes, I would. I actually really liked, the dialogue. I liked the cast. I liked the cinematography. It's just the music I did not like very much. I think that was very off-putting and did not fit the tone of the movie at all. But other than that, I really, really liked it. So thank you so much for watching and listening to today's episode. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Really Old Movies, where I discuss details about the week's particular film. New podcast episodes are released Saturdays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and video versions Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on YouTube and Rumble. All right, thank you so much. This has been Really Old Movies. I'm your host, Harrison Scullin. Take care.